All right, last two problems. Number 19. First thing we're going to do is spin our spinner 240 degrees. Start here. Went too far there. So 180 plus 60 would give us 240. So it'd stop right around there, and I really recommend that you get a little accurate with your drawing. So you can see our reference angle is going to be 60. We finish our triangle by going back to the x-axis always. We know this has to be 90, and so therefore this has to be 30. You can see the infamous 30, 60, 90. Now it confuses a lot of students because there are no dimensions. This is where you can actually have the freedom to pick the easiest possible dimensions you can find. So we're going to go with this as a 1. If this is a 30, 60, 90, the hypotenuse is double, and the side opposite to 60 is the square root of 3. But you have to be careful because this does represent a point. So this has to be negative, this has to be negative. So sine would be opposite over hypotenuse. Now this is going to take a little work, but if I flip that right now, it's going to be 2 over the square root of 3 with a negative. I'm going to get the square root out of there. So I get negative 2 square root of 3 all over 3. So there's cosecant. What is cosine? Adjacent over hypotenuse. That's negative 1/2. This is a lot easier. If I flip it, I get negative 2. Tangent would be opposite over adjacent. So that'd be a negative over a negative, which is just positive square root of 3. Now if I flip this, that's actually over 1. So this would be 1 over the square root of 3. And if I get that square root of 3 out of there, I get the square root of 3 over 3. And that's it for those. Last one, spin the spinner negative 30. So I start here, go down, stop. All I know is that this is a positive 30 degrees, so don't forget that negative does not make it a negative degree measure. It just means 30 degrees in the downward direction. So this is still 30. To finish my triangle, I always go back to the x-axis, never to the y. Here's my 1, here's my 90, therefore this is a 2. This is 60 degrees, so this is the square root of 3, and then I ask myself, if I went this way and that way, would either of these be negative? And the answer is yes, that one. Now I can figure all this out. Sine, opposite over hypotenuse. Cosecant then would be the flip, negative 2. Cosine, adjacent over hypotenuse. And I got to flip that to get this, so I'll show the work right here. 2 over the square root of 3. Got to get the square root out of there, so I get 2 square root of 3 all over 3. Tangent would be opposite over adjacent, so that'd be negative 1 over the square root of 3. Now, if you think about it, wouldn't that be a good time to flip it? So that would just be the negative square root of 3. But I can't leave it like this, so I got to get the square root out of there. So I get negative square root of 3 all over 3. And that does it, you guys. Your last test review. Congrats.